What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Universal Teas. It's the People's Podcast with your girl Toya. I am also always joined by my friends and family on my Facebook Live. I hope that next week you can add me on Facebook so that you can be a part of the conversation, okay? This is episode 14 of Universal Teas, and this episode is called What Do You Want? What do you want? I feel like when you hear that it can go so many ways. So let me break it down. I'm not being shady by asking people what they want, but it's a question for you, right? This is a question that we should be asking ourselves all the time, over and over again, as we matriculate through this thing we call life. Okay. The focus for this episode is to talk about intention. Because lately, I did not put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Oh, I did. I did. My bad. We on Do Not Disturb. I ain't want nobody to interrupt our conversation because that's rude. But yes, we're talking about intention. And if you all saw my post leading up to this episode, you seen that I posted and I asked a question. And my question, no, it wasn't a question. I'm sorry. I posted a theory. And my theory was that intention, not love, right? Intention should be the foundation of every relationship. Tell me whether y'all agree or disagree. Let it sit in your spirit. Suck it up a little bit. I'll say it again, right? My theory is that intention, not love, should be the foundation of every relationship that you have. Okay? Kiara agrees. Okay, so I'm not alone out here. And I was just actually talking to someone else who also said that she agreed with me. So here's what I mean by that. Now, when I say relationships, I don't just mean romantic, okay? So let me bring it down out of the clouds for you. If you don't have an intention for every single relationship, you're just kind of being robotic. You're just going through the motions, not trying to fulfill anything. And you all know my purpose for you and talking to you and doing these lives is to let everybody understand that there's purpose. Like, you have to be working towards something. You're not just here to exist, right? You are here to do something for someone, for yourself, for the world, right? We are interactive beings. Our whole existence is not just to be here and take up space, right? So when I say that every relationship deserves intention, this can be for a sports team. This can be for a romantic relationship. This can be for a work relationship, like with colleagues, group projects, sexual relationships. I know y'all gonna relate to that one. But here's an example. Let's say you play ball, right? What is your intention for playing basketball? Are you just out there trying to, get some cardio in? You're not really concerned about winning or losing, or you just there to get your body moving. Versus being on an NBA team and your goal is to be what you call the people who win the big basketball thing? It's not like the Super Bowl for basketball. What they call? Come on, y'all got it. Basketball players want to win and I watch basketball, y'all. This is bad. Why am I drawing a blank? Come on, y'all. What do basketball teams want to win? The last game. It's not the All-Star. It's the finals, right? You want to win the NBA finals. The champions, right? So thank you, Liz. The NBA finals, right? So that is your goal. So you can't have someone whose intention for playing basketball is to just get cardio to play with the same intensity as someone who wants to win the NBA championship, right? Thank you. And so you can't put those two people in a room with different intentions and expect them to play the same because they're not willing to do the same things, right? Let's think about if you're in a group project. Let's say you're in middle school, right? And your intention for completing this project is just so your mom can see that it's done and she don't bother you, right? That's your intention. Versus your group member who their intention is to get the highest grade in the class. Who do you think is going to put in the most effort? Right? Who do you think is going to put in most effort? The one who's doing it for a grade and because they want something higher than just their mom not to talk to them. You feel me? Intention should be the foundation of every relationship, even and most importantly, the one that you have with yourself. Let me tell y'all what I'm talking about, right? Let's say we're thinking about our goals. Okay? We're thinking about our goals, and my intention for myself is peace and happiness. Okay? That's my intention for myself. When I have an intention for something, everything that I do has to align with my intention. It's your why. If you don't have a why for doing something, you need to figure it out. All of us have a why. All of us have a purpose. It just takes for us to do that. Some people will say like, your why is your kids, right? Your intention on doing well, your intention on making sure your bills are paid, your intention on making sure you have food in your home is to provide for your children. Versus someone who say doesn't have children, and it's like, I don't have kids, so if I ain't got no food in my refrigerator, I am very capable of going to the nearest fast food restaurant and getting me some food. It ain't that big of a deal. I'm the only person to have to feed. You feel me? Intention, right? I have, like, my mom will come to my house and she's like, you ain't got no food in here. Or like my older brother who has kids will come to my house and be like, you ain't got no food in here. And I'm like, it's just me though. I don't have to have a kitchen full of food. I'm good. My intentions are different than yours, right? Let's see what Kiara said in the chat. I just had Facebook pulled up. I need to get my life together. But yeah, like intention. Intention is so important. She said everyone's intentions don't have to be the same. The ones that want the achievement, right? So everybody's intentions aren't going to be the same. It depends on what you're trying to get to, okay? So that's what I'm saying. Right. So lies, feel me, like if you're a single person living alone, I ain't got no kids, my refrigerator ain't gotta be full. I'ma eat though because it's just me. My intention is to only feed myself. You feel me? I ain't got nobody. Right. Okay. So I feel like y'all, I'm looking at notes for the wrong episode. I'm like, I don't remember writing that. My bad. But yeah, I said that intention can be different for different people, right? And so when I was thinking about this episode, I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and I really wish she was on here. Her name is Net. And she asked me, I told her, like, my episode's going to be about intention. This is what I'm going to talk about. And she was like, well, do you think it's intention that needs to be discussed or motives? And I said, ooh, okay. I love when people give me different opinions or different outlooks on things. Like, I live for that type of thing. But she said, do you think it's intention that you just should be talking about or people's motives? Because at first we were talking about romantic relationships. And we all should have been drinking to that one, right? I know. So she asked if it was intention or motive. And me, I feel like in order to understand that, I told her I don't know. But let me look up the definition of the two words, right? So I looked up the definition of the word intention and I looked up the definition of the word motive. So by definition, the word intention is an aim or a plan, right? My intention, my aim, my plan, my goal, what I'm working towards, you know what I mean? What I'm focusing on, that's intention, okay? Motive, this is the Webster definition, and this is why I find so much power in words, y'all, because we try to figure things out when all you got to do is look up what the words mean that you're trying to use. Okay, so the definition of motive, it says a reason for doing something, especially one that is hidden or not obvious. So, y'all see me put my hair behind my ear. That's not there. So, if we're talking about motive seems sneaky. Okay? I feel like a motive is what someone has or what we feel like they have if they don't know how to express their intention. I'm going to run it back. So I read the definition of intention and motive because my friend brought up this point to me. And motive is something that's hidden or not obvious. You don't want nobody to know your motives, right? Your intentions can be made very clear. If you ask me, what is your intention in this career? I can tell you my intention is to have scholars do this or to, you know what I'm saying? I can lay it out for you. But it's like motives are questioned. Motives are always kind of like, what, like, it's sketchy. You don't really want anybody to know you moving weird when you got motives, you know? So I told her, no, it's intention that I'm talking about. Intention is what I want to talk about. What do you want out of every relationship that you have? And that is the thing that I want us to focus on for this one. Kiara said most definitely a difference. Right. And that's how I felt. Like if you have motives, what you hiding? It's hidden. We don't know it. You know what I mean? Whereas intention is very clear. My intention for this podcast is to inspire people to be their best selves. My intention for this podcast is for it to reach somebody that I know from somewhere. You know what I mean? And I think if we move with intention, even when you create things, right? You can ask people all the time, what's your name? Right? I feel like there's been a lot of intention out of naming our children. Because you could ask somebody, you know what I mean, of another heritage, like, oh, well, what does your name mean? What was the intention? People intentionally name their children. You know what I mean? Intention should be a part of every relationship, the foundation. If you don't have intention, what do you have? You need to intentionally do things, because if you don't have intent, if you don't have an intention for something, you're just a robot out here. You just doing you, right? You just moving and grooving, you know, rocking and bopping how you see fit. You don't really have a goal. Okay? That makes sense? Make sure y'all share the video too, because people leaving the party and I don't appreciate that. But go ahead and share the video. So when I looked at the definition of these words though while I was talking to my friend, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, it made me realize how much power and importance lies in the words that we use. Okay? And understanding that the words that we use can change the world, can affect people in so many ways. The words that you decide to use can be carried over. I heard a long time ago, or a lot of times in particular, like, you probably won't remember what a person did for you. You won't remember what, you know what I'm saying, what happened between you two, but you remember how they make you feel. And the way that people make you feel is by their words. At least that's what I think. And this also makes me believe, like, your words need to be intentional. Be intentional about what you say. And that's something that I try my best to practice. I don't like to argue. I don't like to go back and forth with people, because I feel like my intentions is to solve something. So if you're arguing with someone and their intention for that argument isn't a solution to the problem, you're wasting your time. What are we doing this for? You know, what's your intention for this? And so that whole thing, going back to words being intentional, I love Maya Angelou, for those of you who don't know. And so I was watching the interview that she was doing. Was it yesterday? I think I was watching yesterday or the day before yesterday. And if you've ever read her novel, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, she mentions when she was a kid, she stopped talking for a long period of time. And this is a rant. I promise I'm not going to talk about this for a long time, because everybody's not like in love with Maya Angelou like me. But there was a period of time, years, that she went without speaking because she felt like her words killed, I think it was her stepdad or the man who raped her when she was a child. She said something, and then a few days later they found he was dead. But her thing was, she felt like her words were what killed him. So she went years without speaking. Okay? And the reason being is because she felt like everything that she said from that point forward had to have intent. It had to have intention, because she didn't want to speak for no reason. So when she did finally decide to speak, and I feel like I'm teaching right now, so I'm gonna try to get back to the point. But when she did decide to speak, she had learned so much. You know what I mean? So she knew what she wanted to do with her words, and it was at that point that she developed her love for writing and, you know, all those other things. But words are extremely powerful. I can still remember things people said to me when I was 5 years old. I swear to God, I'm not kidding you. You probably can too, right? Words hold power. I still remember things my teachers told my parents at parent-teacher conferences about me. You know what I mean? I still remember things that people have said to me that have hurt my feelings, like the exact words that they've said. They resonate with me all the time. So be intentional about what you say. La said, what is they don't have intention? What if they just talk just to talk? Because I swear. No, there are people who, are you talking about like not being intentional with your words? There are people who talk just because, and I'm not a fan of those people, okay? The next point that I wanted to make about intention, though, is, I feel like I had to burp. Hold on, y'all. Don't worry about that. Okay, so The next point that I wanted to make about intention is that intentions, in my opinion, and tell me if y'all agree or disagree, but anytime you agree with me, please please disagree respectfully, because these hands still get active. But in my opinion, I said that intentions have to be spoken or properly communicated. So I feel like when we're talking about relationship and intentions being the foundation of relationships, I feel like intention has to be spoken. You can't go into any relationship and not any relationship that you want to bloom and blossom. You can't go into it and not be willing to talk about intention, because just like we talked about, if you don't discuss your intentions, they're then motives, right? Motives are things that are hidden or not obvious. You don't want to go into a relationship with things that are not obvious. I don't know about you. I don't need surprises. I'm not a fan of them. I need to know what's going on. You feel me? So I feel like intentions between you and whomever that relationship is with, you should discuss intention, because if not, you're just being open to make assumptions, right? And when you don't talk about your intentions, that leads you to assume. That leads you to place expectations on the other person or the other entity, because y'all not clear. Y'all not clear on what it is you're working towards. And I see that Jay and Kiara are saying that they agree. But yeah, I feel like if you don't set intentions, you're just setting yourself up to assume things. And we know what assuming does to relationships. And I want you all to be very clear. When I'm talking about intentions, and I keep saying the word relationship, I'm not just talking about romantic. I'll give you an example. One of the most important relationships, or the most important relationship you can have, is with God, right? Or the Most High, the ancestors, the spirit world, the universe, whomever you decide to, you know what I mean, do the thizzle with, right? Whoever you be talking to. You have to have an intention for them, right? You can't just go to God, or I've realized that you can't just go to God and just start like talking to him. Like, yeah, what you did today, God? Like, you feel me? My day was straight. No, when you go and you talk to God, your intention is to build a relationship. Your intention is to get to know him. When I say intentions or relationships with yourself, those are very important also. What is my reason? And a lot of our intention for finding ourselves comes from traumatic experiences, trauma, disappointment, letdowns, breakdowns, losing someone, losing your mind. So why am I going within, right? Right now, I feel like I'm on a journey of going within and figuring myself out. And when I do that, I have to be clear about my reason. The reason that I want to do this is because I feel like I can't be my best self and not be happy and not be at peace and not be, you know what I mean, successful. So those are the reasons that I'm going within. You have to have an intention for every relationship, whether it be with yourself, your spouse, your sister, your brother, your mama, your auntie, your daddy, your cousin, God, Buddha, Allah, whoever, the ancestors, phoneme, the guys, the bros, your baby daddy. What is your intention, right? You have to get clear. Right. Right. Kiara said if there isn't intentions, it's a waste. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. When I think about failed relationships, and I don't just mean romantic. Every time I say relationship, y'all, I want you to think full spectrum. Failed relationships that I've had, friends, family, coworkers, whatever. When you get to the root of it, or when I'm very reflective, so when I sit back and I analyze it, our intentions were not the same. Had I sat down in each of those failed scenarios and asked someone the first day that I met them, what are your intentions for this type of relationship? Right? What are your intentions for wanting this degree? What are your intentions for trying to, you know what I mean, do certain things? Intention is the foundation, right? Here's another point that I had, or this is a experience that I've been reflecting on that's been happening to me. So, another reason that intention is so important. I only been talking for 20 minutes. Swear to God, it feel like an hour. That's because y'all not talking to me. It's only me and Kiara in here talking. Please make sure y'all share the video too. But recently, you know what I mean, in my own life, I've been sitting back and analyzing a situation. And I came to realize, because I would be like, yo, me and my friend, right, friend, me and my friend, we would sit and watch the same motivational speeches. We would sit and interpret the same, articles that we would read, about motivating yourself and, being your best self and working hard and never giving up on yourself and dreaming. And we would agree like these were great messages, right? I should definitely not give up. I should definitely work hard. I should definitely push. I should definitely do this. But then I also was trying to figure out like, well, why did this relationship fail then? If we agreed that these videos and speeches and the coping mechanisms that they were giving were amazing, our intentions for listening to them were different. And when I realized that, it helps me to forgive. Okay? So I was listening to these things and watching these videos with the intention of finding inner peace, with the intention of finding happiness, with the intention of self-reliance, with the intention being all inward. My intentions were inward. Whereas this person's intentions, they were looking to reach what success was, reach what a luxurious life was. You know what I mean? I want a house, I want a car, I want this. Their intentions were for watching those things that we would watch together was for them to stay motivated to work towards that goal, their intention. And that's why we missed each other. You feel me? We were getting the same information. We were receiving them at the same time, but our intentions were different, so we would miss each other every time. That's why a lot of relationships fail. Actually, I would love pushback. I feel like that's why all relationships fail, because intention misses each other. Okay? And I also think that now that I sit here and think about relationships and how they work, I feel like if you have a relationship with yourself, with the universe, with God, with another person, I feel like you should always revisit the conversation of intention if you wanted to stay healthy. Because I feel like your intentions can change. Your intentions can definitely change. So I think that's why it's important to check in. Check in with yourself, right? If my goal today or this year is to publish, let's say one of my goals is to publish a book, right? I do that. And so now I have to revisit. I got to check back in with myself, because you met that intention. Now is it that you want to publish 7 books, right? I think intention changes as our journey progresses. So I think it's always important to check in with yourself, or check in with every relationship that you have, to make sure you're not missing each other. Because if you are talking to someone, or you are trying to, if you're talking to someone and you all have a disagreement, you have different viewpoints, and you're talking to them, if your intention for the result of that discussion, that argument, that debate is not the same, you're going to miss each other every time. Okay? Intention is the foundation of every single relationship that you can have. Ooh, because I know y'all will be interested in this, right? I don't even know who's on here, but hey, y'all, say what's up in the chat. Share this video. Another relationship that I don't think I mentioned at all, and I'm going to be real quick with this because y'all ain't about to get me there. Even sexual relationships. Even sexual relationships have to have intention. Why are you having sex with this person? Is it just to, you know what I'm saying, get what you need? Get, you know what I'm saying? And going on? Or are you having sex with this person to build a connection? If your intentions for sex are different, it's going to cause a lot of trouble. I think that's one that's really important that we need to visit. Even myself, right? Sexual relationships have to have intention. And I think in this day and age, in this modern world where sex is literally just like right in our faces all the time, we forget that the actual act of having sex should have intention. And that's not to say, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, you need to wait till marriage. I'm not saying that you know, go be a hoe, bust it wide open when you want to. I'm not saying you should only have sex with one person. But I feel like when you're doing it, if you're agreeing to do it, What are your intentions? You both need to be clear. If you're having sex with someone who is feeling like, I can only do this with somebody that I am extremely in love with, and you like, well, listen, sis, I just left the club and I got Henny dick. So I just had 5 shots of Henny. What's up? And then y'all do it, and then the next day she all stalking you, trying to bring you lunch to work and trying to spend the night, and you like, hold on, wait, y'all intentions were never the same. Y'all intentions were never the same, so you're gonna miss each other every time. Y'all, this theory, I'm sticking to it until somebody tells me different. Intention, not love, not lust, not admiration, not even, okay, no, I was gonna say not even respect, but I gotta think about that one. That one's a little deep for me. But intention should be the foundation of every relationship. If you don't start a relationship with clear intentions, it will almost always fail. And I'm willing to debate anybody about that. Hey Peter, he said chemistry versus history. If the chemistry change and it's not for the better, the history don't matter. That's what I tell myself. Exactly. We are changing people every single day. So I don't care that you've been with someone for 8 years. When are your intentions still the same in year 8 that they were in year 1? Right? Did you, when you met this person, was your intention like, oh, she cute, I'm going to talk to her for a little bit and move around? Or were you someone who was going into this like, I've been single for a long time, I'm dating to marry? Like, the person I want to date, I want to marry. And y'all never have that discussion and you just kind of start moving. You're almost always going to fail. Tell me something different. Right? Okay. I'm about to go ahead and, Oh, I forgot about this point. This is a good one. Okay, this is my last point. And then I'm going to give y'all what I call heart work. And that's just work that you do, to kind of ground yourself in what I'm saying, because I never want to give information and not have somebody and not challenge people to use it. I'm ranting, but stay with me. I never want to give people information that resonates with them, because I feel like the person that wants to hear this or that needs to hear it is definitely going to hear it. But I don't want you to just hear me. I want you to feel me. And the way that you do that is by doing what I call heart work. You have to write it down. You have to bring all of the things that you want to manifest into the physical. So that's why I think writing is important. But before I give y'all that heart work, let me tell you my last point, okay? Why I think intention is so important. And I was up at like 2:30 in the morning thinking about this. I said that if intention, this is what I said, if intention wasn't so powerful and important, people wouldn't go to jail for intended crimes. I don't know if y'all felt that, but I did, and I'm going to say it again. So I said that if intention was not extremely important and powerful, people would not go to jail for intended crimes. I don't know about you. I don't know how you grew up, but I know plenty of people who have charges for intent to sell, intent to distribute, intended this, intended that. First of all, how did you know that was my intention? How you gonna tell? First, listen, let me disclaimer. I am not encouraging anybody to do, sell, or anything involving drugs. I'm just speaking to connect people, right? So let's just say somebody is charged with intent to distribute. Now, we already know by definition an intention, and this is, y'all, intention is an aim or a plan, right? It's a definitive aim or a plan. That is the definition of intention. Whereas a motive is something that you do that is hidden or not obvious. Okay? So if you have a charge, and I'm also not a legal, I'm a teacher. I don't got nothing to do with the law. So if I say something wrong, don't try to sue me. But from my understanding of this, how can you charge someone with a crime, intent to distribute, intent to sell, where in the definition of the word intention, there's nothing that says that it's hidden? You could ask them, And if they say that their intention was not to sell it, how can you prove that it was? You can say that they had a motive. They were motivated, because motivated things are hidden. That's something that they don't want you to know. It's not obvious, right? But yeah, like, if your intentions were not so important and so integral into who you are, people wouldn't be in jail right now for intended crimes. Intention is the foundation of every relationship, right? Because you got police officers out here saying that it's your intention. Your intentions alone can get you locked up. And you mean to tell me intentions aren't significant to us? Right. Okay. But yeah, so that was a point that kind of like clicked to me. Like, how you gonna tell me it's my intention to sell drugs? How you know I wasn't trying to save it for later or something? Like, how you gonna tell me my intentions? You can't tell someone their intentions. You can ask them, but you can't tell them, right? So that was my final point. And so now I want to give you your heart work, because a large part of working on ourselves and becoming our best selves is bringing all of our ideas, all of our intentions, all of our motives, all of our goals and plans into reality. And the way that we're going to do that for this episode is I want you to write down. I want you to think of, excuse me, y'all, that was gross. If you want to do all of the relationships in your life, that's a lot. We have a lot of relationships in our lives. But I would think of like the 5 most important relationships you have in your life. 5 most important relationships. I want you to physically write down. Bring it into reality, okay? Bring it out of your head. Bring it out of your phone notes. There's something powerful in writing and seeing words on a page. And bring into your reality 5 of the most important relationships in your life. And write down what your intentions are for them, right? After you have written down the intentions for the 5 most important relationships of your life, I'm going to challenge you to ask the other entity what their intentions are to see if they match. And if they don't, you probably shouldn't be in that relationship, or you should be talking about tweaking them. Compromise. That's when you then can start to compromise. So let me tell you what your hard work is again. I need you to think of the 5 most important relationships in your life. Write them down. Once you've written down the 5 most important relationships in your life, I want you to write down what is your intention, what is your aim or your plan with those relationships. Got it? After you've written down your intentions for them, I want you to go to the other entity, whether it be within yourself, whether it be God, whether it be your baby daddy, whether it be your boss. Don't get fired from your job, though. Don't go in there like, my intention is that you raise my pay right now, or I'm about to... I ain't telling you to do that. But your homework or heart work is what I like to call it. Write down the 5 most important relationships. Write your intentions for them. Then I challenge you. This is like a bonus. Like, if y'all was in my class, I would give you extra credit. Because I know, like, approaching people is not very easy for all of us. But I challenge you to address it with the other person, the other entity, with God, with yourself, and see if they match up. And if they don't match up, you need to reevaluate that relationship. I'm not saying it needs to end. Jay's like, I'm scared if someone don't match what I think. So I'm not telling you that it should end. I'm telling you that's where you open up discussion. And from that discussion, then you'll need to know if you need to cut it. Okay. But yeah, y'all got anything else for me? If not, I'm about to close us out. I'm about to stop recording. Y'all got your homework? If you're not a part of the Facebook group, I would love for you to join and put a picture of you having completed your hard work. It could be like this. You ain't even got to show us what you wrote, because that's that's your business. But you can just send me a picture of your journal and let me know that you did it. But yeah, that's where we're going to leave it today. I do have a couple people that I wanted to plug in, but I haven't been getting a whole lot of viewers. So I'm going to start shouting people out again once my viewers start to go up. Also, please make sure that you remember, I have a lot of people ask me all the time, how can I see your podcast? I want to see it. I want to see it. I know, you know what I'm saying? I'm a little cute or whatever, but this is still a podcast. You don't have to be on my live in order to see it. So I'm asking and encouraging you all to tell your friends, family, boyfriend, girlfriend, baby daddy, whoever. If you want to shade somebody and one of the messages is like, oh, you need to hear this because you don't got your shit together, send it to them. The name of the podcast on Apple and Spotify is Universal Teas. So go ahead and download it, subscribe, leave a review, let the people know how I'm coming. But yeah, that's it. Hey Jay, she said, sis, you gave us a word. So proud of you and looking forward to the next episode. Thank you. I love you so much. So let me go ahead and close us out, and I'm gonna talk to my friends on Facebook offline. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Again, this was episode 14 of Universal Teas, and it was called What Do You Want? Make sure if you have not already, please join me every Tuesday. We go live at 5 on my Facebook page. My name is Toya Friend. Be sure to